Okay.
Joyce.
Yes.
Rolling?
Yes, sir.
Ready? You already know what it is, man. You be the underboss, the apex. My partner Hurricane Joe Easy in the building with another dope edition of Fuego Talk. And we got a special invited guest in the building today. The one and only, the beautiful, the lovely, the talented Hannah Joyce is with us. Make some noise, make some noise, make some noise. Yes. Thank you for coming, Hannah.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for the drive.
Yes.
Came here early. Very appreciative of us.
I try.
And yourself. That's very early.
Yes, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Not. A lot of people nowadays aren't on time, so that's a good trait to have, especially in the entertainment business.
Yeah, that's very true.
Good
And
to see that.
I realized how annoying it is to have other people really late. And I was like, I don't want to be that girl.
Right.
Cool. We'll get that. Good.
So you're a model, no?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. A model and actress.
Model,
Awesome.
actress, yeah. And I know you had a little bit of music in your background as well.
Yes. So my main thing that I started doing was music. I'd record in my basement, and I
Awesome.
made my own little studio.
Do you have a basement in Florida?
No. I'm from Chicago.
Oh, wow, you're from Chicago. I was born in Chicago. That's cool.
Oh, shout out
Okay,
Chicago.
cool.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay.
I lived in Chicago for 18 years, and then
that's
till I
awesome.
was 18, and then I moved here.
What part of
Awesome,
Chicago?
awesome.
So I'm from like the outskirts. The last town I lived in was Joliet.
Okay, Juliet. I know Juliet.
You familiar?
Yeah,
Okay.
familiar. I was like, my family lived in Maywood. I don't know if you're familiar with Maywood, Melrose Park area.
Melrose Park, I know, yeah.
Okay.
So we were, every summer we'd go back. But I was raised down here though. We came down here when I was like maybe 3 years old, 2 or 3 years old or something. So
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you were just like born in Chicago.
I was just born over there, and then I was raised down here. But we'd go back like every summer. We'd go back, and it was good. It was fun times.
I like
I love
it.
Chicago.
It'll always be my city.
Yeah, I love Chicago.
So
Yeah, I love it.
how long? So you got a while then doing music? 18 years or longer?
For music,
Yeah,
I mean, music I didn't
20-something.
start till I was like, well, I started teaching myself singing and branching out my, like widening my vocal range
mhm.
kind of in, like when I was like when I was 10, I started training
Okay.
myself to sing correctly because I did not sound good. It was not pretty.
Mhm.
But then I started, kind of just teaching myself. And then when I was 15, I started learning how to record myself
Dope.
and doing all that. So
Dope.
Wow.
You play instruments too as well?
I'm a self-taught pianist.
Ah,
so I
awesome.
know how to play the piano. I just haven't brushed it up, but
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. He loves doing it. But that's great though. So self-taught. So how is this like
Driven.
YouTube like type university, or how do you learn all this like by yourself? Is
Is
it
it
just
a
all
feel?
ear?
Is
Is it
it a
just all
feel?
ear?
You play?
All feel?
so with singing, it was recording myself and then listening back and correcting.
Right.
So
Nice.
just over and over for like
Right.
years I did that and teaching myself, and then listening to like my main music influence was Adele. I had to learn how to
Okay.
hit her
Man.
range. Like
Well,
that was the
Adele's
goal.
not easy
Yeah.
to
No, it's
replicate.
not. It is not. But it was a hard goal to reach. But I feel like the higher your goals are, the more you're going to accomplish,
Expectations, correct.
and the more you can work on in the process. So that was my main music influence. But then when I learned piano, I was 15, and I was living in a homeless shelter in Chicago, and
Really?
I was so bored there all the time. And so they had a piano downstairs, and so every single day I would just sit down with the piano, and they had a book, and I taught myself
Dope.
sitting there.
So
you
that was
go.
kind of like a blessing in disguise then.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
Character
can,
building and piano.
Can we unpack
Mhm.
that a little bit? What led to
You
that?
want to go
that?
down that tunnel or not really?
Can
We
you?
can go down some of the tunnel.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just curious to know
That's
because
it. We
it's
don't
tough,
want to touch
you know,
yet to
that's
touch
a
the
tough
boundaries.
situation to be in.
Mhm.
And then, obviously finding that talent there and finding that, developing that craft there is kind of, it's an intriguing story. I wanted to hear more about that.
Yeah, so I kind of grew up in like a broken family. So I was pretty much abandoned by half of my family, and
Wow,
that was
sad.
on my dad's side. And so,
Sorry to hear that.
well, thank you, but it taught me a lot. I would not take it back. Absolutely not.
You're gonna go back.
Nope. So, so I I ended up in a couple homeless shelters. I transferred from a few, ended up in a group home, but eventually when I was about like I was almost 16, I went, my mom was found, well, because I ran away from one of the group homes, and because I'm a minor, they were like, we can't just let you do that, so you got to come back. So they called the police, and then my dad got called because he was technically like, you know, the person who was supposed to be watching me.
Right, he's supposed to be your guardian, right?
Exactly. So so he came and picked me up, and we ended up finding my mom, and he just dropped me there, and that was also a blessing in disguise. My mom was one of the most beautiful people in the entire world.
Awesome. Yeah. So you were able to get out of that situation. You learned piano, and you developed a relationship with your mom.
I redeveloped, yeah.
Okay.
I reconnected with her, yeah.
With your mom. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
So your bond with your mom is strong now.
She passed away a couple years ago. It's 3 years ago now. So she passed away when I was 19. But that's part of why I believe like I got reconnected with her, because, you know, I got that time before then.
That closure, yeah. That's beautiful. That's awesome. That's cool that you see it that way. It's a beautiful thing, like to have that perspective, and you're such a young person. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
So that's great.
Discipline.
Great. Yeah.
Discipline.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what builds the character.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
definitely a strong character.
So you're made for much more, because if you're ready, that's what I tell people. Watch this.
Oh yeah.
If God is testing you that way, and you know, unfortunately, then there's other things for you. You get me? Like, this is the test. So can you handle it? That's how I look at it.
Those are the trials and tribulations that we go through. Yeah.
And everyone's trial is different. You get me? Like, everyone in this room, you know, God has different, you know, different walls and obstacle courses for you to get through the maze. You know, if you want to level up.
So you've been doing the modeling thing?
Yeah.
Since you came down here?
Yes, I always wanted to be a model, but it was one of those things where like I'm not super tall and I'm not super skinny. So like I'm not this like, when I first started modeling, I was like, I weighed way more than they wanted you to. And I always had this darker, like alternative look to me. I always wanted to look like this. So, you know, I have like, you can't really see them, but I have a tattoo of here and like, you know, so like I just was told like, you're never going to move as far as you want. But when I moved here, I just saw how many different people were over here.
Yeah.
And what actually started me in modeling was I was at a diner, and this one guy came up to me and he goes, "Excuse me, I really like the way your face looks." Now that sounds weird.
No, but it's dope.
But he was
but
like,
it's true though. You do have that certain that certain model cut. You know what I mean? Like you have high cheekbones. So, it's very
So he was like, "Have you ever done modeling?" And I was like, "No, never have." And he was like, "Would you be willing to do a shoot with me? Like I would love to have you in my portfolio." Dope. And I was like, "Absolutely." And then after that photo shoot, I just knew that like I had to be behind cameras. Like I just knew that was my happy place.
He opened your eyes.
You felt good being.
But that was here or in Chicago?
That was in Florida.
Oh, okay.
Lake Worth.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Awesome. So how long ago was this already? How long have you been down here?
I have been here. Let's see. Because I moved here.
5 seasons or 4 seasons. We'll call them seasons.
Right. I think it's been since, so it's been 4 years.
Okay.
For a little, almost 5 years now.
Welcome to Florida.
Thank you. I've been told I'm still a newbie, apparently.
No, after 1 year. After 1 year, you're already officially a Floridian. We all know that already.
That's what I said. But I was told, no, you're not used to it yet. Your blood isn't thin enough.
Well, the thing is, you're not as far south as you need to be yet. That's what it is. See, you're just visiting now, but you know you're too far up north. That's why. When you come a little bit further south, then we'll start being like, okay, now she's official. Now she's an official Floridian.
Miami's different. I forgot Miami's not part of Florida. No.
So once you cross that county line, Dade County becomes a totally different world.
Miami is his own state already.
Miami. I've heard that. I've heard that. It's a whole different world down here.
Miami is Miami. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. So I was gonna ask you because I was surprised when you said Adele as your musical influence. Because of like your looks, you know, you look like you'd be into like more hardcore stuff. I thought you were like into like the rock and the gothic, like you know the hardcore alternative stuff.
I mean, I am, and you know, I'm in a band as well, and the band is like an alternative rock.
So you guys play original music?
Yeah, so we do some covers, but we also play original.
Okay.
We were a heavier like metal band, but then when we had an issue with a member who was doing the screaming for the metal, and I was doing the clean vocals because you won't find me screaming. I can't do that. I'm gonna rip my vocal cords out.
No,
I worked way too
not.
long for those. Okay, so
but like the dope clean singing goes real good with the metal.
It does. Like, it like lets off and makes people go like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
that sounds different.
That sounds dope. Yeah, the transition.
Oh yeah,
exactly,
absolutely. So do you co-write songs and stuff with the band, or?
So I write all the lyrics, but they kind of write the music, and I give my input. So we do kind of like all write together, because if they don't like the lyrics or how they sound, they will like be like, hey, let's try this instead. We have great musical chemistry there. We really do.
That's the best right there. That's all you can ask for when you're in a band.
What's the band setup?
So we have our drummer, and then we have one guitarist, a bassist, and me. Okay, so we're a 4-man band, and 3-man, 1 woman, but we're a 4-person band. And
so no more screamers, lead singer, no more screamers.
You guys got gigs you play?
Well, so we played a couple gigs in some breweries and stuff, but we recently kind of reformed. Okay. So because of more recently reforming, we had to rewrite a lot of the songs so that, there's no screaming in them. And we ended up just starting from scratch and just kind of going and making all our own things. And so we don't want to get a screamer. We were actually in the process of looking for one, but then we started writing stuff in the meantime to see like what we could come up with, and it ended up just sounding so much smoother and better in our softer sound than like, so we're not like metal, we're more like alternative rock kind of style now.
You guys ever consider like bringing like an MC into the mix, like a rapper?
Oh, so one of our drummers in another band, he's in 2 bands, he does a lot of stuff.
Oh, wow. He's a busy guy.
I love it. Yeah. I mean, he just gets so into stuff, and he's always doing something. And I'm like, I don't know how you have time for that, but like, go you. I'm cheering you on. Yeah, I'll be there. Okay. But so.
So you have a rapper? Is he a rapper?
No, so
he has a rapper.
His lead singer in his other band is a screamer and a rapper.
Oh,
so he like puts rap into his metal songs, kind of like Slipknot, I love that kind of style.
I love Slipknot. Dude.
He's that kind of vocalist, and he's good. So we are working on putting him into one of our new songs so that he can rap with my clean vocals as well. So that'll be really cool, because I love that. I love Slipknot and that kind of style. It's like really cool to me. So
we need more of that.
Yeah, we definitely need more of that. So what's the name of the band? Can we know, or do you guys?
Yeah, well, it's called Joyce.
Oh, okay.
So it was kind of based off me being the lead singer, but we're hoping to get some shows soon, and it'll be all over my Instagram whenever we have shows.
We'll be waiting for that. We'll be patiently waiting for that. That's awesome. So aside from that, from the band stuff, you're still doing the modeling, and you mentioned to me something about you doing like a little bit of acting and stuff too.
Yeah, so I ended up signing with an agency, and how they found me was I actually did a modeling and acting competition in Atlanta, and you had to like perform this commercial that you wrote yourself as part of it, and then walk in a fashion show, kind of. So
you wrote it yourself?
So I wrote the commercial myself. Yeah, and
you're so talented.
Thank you.
So that's awesome. So how long was the commercial? What, a minute?
Well, no, they gave you like 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
So you got
had to
30.
Put it together yourself, write everything, and then record it.
Well, no, so you had to stand up in front of a lot of people and pretty much just speak it out.
Oh, wow. So
you had to do it live.
And you had to rehearse it and then get on there and do it.
And you had to have that memorized. So like you had to be on the stage, and they also had you on camera projected onto the wall.
How'd you do?
I apparently did very good, because that's what made the agency I ended up signing with. They're like, we have, the scout we have that saw you doing the commercial. What acting school did you go to? And I was like, I never went to an acting school. And they were like, we thought you had. Like, we thought that was your main course.
Yeah.
We thought you had been, like, you know, trained to do acting because it came off really good. And I was like, no. And they're like, well, you're going to be doing that now if you're signing with us. So, because we want you to.
You have like a natural ability.
Apparently, I didn't know I did, but
it all came natural to you, right?
Yeah, it did.
And that's in. You said you went to Georgia.
Where's that?
Yes, okay. Atlanta. Yeah, Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah, dope.
There's a lot more acting and modeling in Georgia than I knew. Like in Atlanta, there's so much there. That's where, like
the studios. Tyler Perry is out there.
Yeah,
a lot of studios
everything is out
that's
there.
like the new Hollywood.
And Georgia gets the tax breaks. They get the incentives too.
Yeah, like that's
they get everything. The film industry's there, dude.
It's really
entertainment.
Smack in Atlanta.
The new Hollywood.
It's crazy. It's like the new Hollywood. Yeah,
I call it like that. They took over hip hop.
Yeah.
Now it's time to get into the movie. No, I'm telling you, I really know. I was just there 2 weeks ago.
The movies, the series, like all that stuff. It's like a hub.
They're there. Yep.
And someone had told me exactly what you said. It's the new Hollywood. And I didn't like believe that until I signed because they were like, "Are you willing to work in Atlanta?" And I was like, well, yeah, I'm fine if the pay is worth it, you know, that type of thing. Yeah. And they were like, well, okay, so I had to give a list of like states I'm willing to work in. And I made, you know, Georgia one of my states.
Nice.
And most of the jobs I see come through they're like, Georgia. Hey, like, are you available for this? Can we submit you for this? Whatever. Like most of those are in Atlanta. Yep. It's a lot more than I thought.
That's where the work is at.
I'll be there.
That's where the work is at. Yeah, I mean, and the thing about it is Atlanta is like you know, it's the hub. So everything is there. It's like very saturated. But right when you go like 10, 15 minutes out of town, like into, you know, the suburban areas and stuff, it's like everything is like so much cheaper. It's like, you know,
it's way different. It's like two worlds in one state.
Just a little bit out of the city.
The city is the city.
Yeah, the city's the city.
The country.
Absolutely, yeah. So it's cool, man. I love Atlanta. I think Atlanta's where it's at, bro. We might be up there. We might be making a move up there real soon.
Yeah, I've been wanting to expand because we have another studio, and I've been telling like one of our friends to let's go up there and expand. You know, let's like the thing is you gotta get your foot wet. You know, you just go and then from there whatever happens. But you gotta start. You know, that's what it is.
You gotta make the move, man.
Gotta start from somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's good. It's good to see that you're moving around and you're doing your thing. That's awesome. So have you gotten any gigs yet with the agency or?
Yes. So there's a TV show on Amazon Prime Video. It's called Johnson. I'm a background actor in that. I don't have any lines, but I'm one of the dead center background actors. So
awesome. So we'll be seeing you on there for sure.
Yeah.
Nice.
So you shot already for that? You shot those already? Okay.
I'll be in season 4. Ooh. Johnson.
Is it recurring? Is it like a recurring role or is it just like a one-time thing?
It's just a one-time for them. And then I was in 2 short films for the college. Palm Beach State, I think.
Palm Beach, what, here in Florida?
In Florida, in Lake Worth, that college. That one, I was in 2 short films for that, which that one, those ones I had lines for. And those ones are actually going up on my Instagram soon.
Awesome.
So, because those, I have those now. So
is it just like some school projects or is it going to be like for like film festivals and stuff?
So I think one of the girls might submit hers to film festivals.
Nice.
Because I did a horror one, which was like my dream. Like when they asked me like, what kind of film do you want to do? I was like, horror.
That's like your bag. That's what you want to get into, right? You mentioned.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I want to be a lead role.
You want to see blood
in a horror? No, but like,
when you put it like that, it sounds bad.
No. But like you want to be a lead in a horror flick.
Absolutely, 100%. I don't care if I'm the scared girl or the creepy one.
Right. Because you know what it is. Usually the leads are the ones that survive the movie, though.
Yeah.
They'll be the ones that survive through the whole thing. But everything is going to happen around them. Everybody's going to get killed around them.
Exactly.
So it's going to be real gory.
Even if I got to be the girl that gets killed first, that's fine. Like one of the girls, like if I got to do one horror movie first where I get killed, that's fine. I'll do
I'll take it. Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take the L.
Gotta climb the ladder, you
know?
You
gotta climb the ladder. So what are your top 3 horror movies of all time? Or top 3, right? Top 5 or top 3? What are your GOAT horror flicks? Do you have any?
Which is your favorite one? How about that one? Which is the one you would want to watch?
Question. I love so many of them.
Really?
If we had to,
is it gonna be like some that we know, or do you?
Well, I love The Conjuring.
Okay.
And Insidious. I love those.
Insidious is crazy.
I recently watched a horror movie that like blew my mind. Though it was actually an accident. It was a complete accident that you watched it. Yeah. So I went to the movie theater with my boyfriend, and we went in and we were gonna watch this. I forgot what movie.
Romantic.
We were gonna watch. No. I forgot what movie.
Something else.
Something else. I forgot what it was, but we went in there to watch a movie.
Coincidentally, you bumped into a great horror movie.
Well, so
Spill the beans.
it was Haunted Mansion.
It's like it attracts her.
Haunted
It's like
Mansion.
it pulls her in.
I mean, it was Haunted Mansion, I think, that we were gonna watch.
Okay.
And then turns out we got the date wrong for like when it was first
released,
previewing or when it was first showing, so it wasn't even there. And so we were like, what are we gonna do now? We're here. And he was like, which one do you want to watch? And I was like, the horror one.
There was like one horror one in the whole theater.
And he was like, I should have known that. Yeah. So we ended up watching that, and I had never seen a preview for it or anything.
Nothing, yeah.
But that was like the most crazy thing. I
Do you
highly
remember
recommend.
what it was called?
Cobweb.
Oh wow!
Cobweb. It was one of the craziest, most unpredictable horror movies I've ever seen. Like,
how long ago was this? Is this recently? Or?
Yeah, it was recent.
Really? I haven't heard of that. Cobweb.
I'm gonna look it up.
You definitely should. It was like, I mean, it wasn't any more than like a month or so.
My daughter loves horror flicks. My daughter loves them. I can't stand them, but my daughter loves them. My daughter and my son, they love them.
You guys said Insidious. You said Insidious, right?
Insidious was really good.
Saw it. Like, remind me, like, who's in it? What happened?
Dude, Insidious was the one where it's like the thing that takes over your yeah, right? It's like a thing that takes over your whole, right? It takes over your person.
Well, so it's Insidious.
It's like a demon or something.
Yeah, right? Insidious is about, I believe that's the one about, I get them all mixed up, and of course right now I'm gonna get them all mixed up. But I believe it's about, well, there's The Conjuring is about like the house. There's a specific house.
Right, the house.
And then Insidious is about a demon and haunting. Yeah, it's like
that brown possession, brown demon, something in the house.
Yeah, it's like, and it takes place in a house, like in the house. There's like 3 or 4 of them or something now.
Yeah, there's a bunch.
There's a bunch of them.
Yeah,
just like The Conjuring.
I lose track.
Yeah, I lose track too because I watch so many horror movies that they all just go like scary, like in my head. But
so the horror flick stuff. So does that mean, I've always wanted to know, like, people that are into like horror movies like that, does that mean that is does this have anything to do with religious beliefs? No, right?
No, not for me.
Not for you,
really.
Right?
I'm like on the borderline of being religious, I guess you could say.
So you're not necessarily religious per se, but you're more like spiritual?
Yeah, you could say that, yeah. Okay. Like I believe in some ideals of Christianity, but I'm not in full. I grew up in a absolute no religion period. We don't believe in anything anywhere.
Atheist house.
Yeah, basically. Like, I'll believe it when I see it. That's it. Those were my parents. And they weren't hateful towards anybody, but it was like very like we didn't go to church or explore any of that, and we weren't introduced to it like at all. So I kind of just had to, as I grew up and became an adult, I had to kind of take my own ideals and see what I believe. So I guess I lean towards, Christianity, but I'm like I'm more spiritual than actually religious.
That leaning towards Christianity, what would you attribute that to? Is it like maybe like influence from somebody, or is that you like maybe like finding God or I guess feeling God at some point in your life? Or
so
I don't know, I'm just curious.
Yeah, so a couple times in my life, like I believe that things are that what happens to us is supposed to happen, but I also believe that path could be drawn, for us. And that's where the God belief comes in, where someone's drawing that for me. But, we have many ways we could go still if we don't work on ourselves. So like he gives us options, right? And he has every path drawn out, but whatever option you pick is what road you're going down. Yeah. So, but I actually, I am almost 3 years clean. I had a problem for a while, and getting clean was one of the things that helped me so much to find, a belief in something. Because you get this like spiritual awakening going through 12 steps and stuff like that, where you like really find something in yourself where you're like, right, I can let go of that. And
that's
you know,
awesome. That power, that strength that he gives you is awesome.
You connect to something, and you know, the one thing about those programs is they always tell you like your higher power is your higher power.
Facts.
So it's not God if you don't want it to be. You know, it's whoever you want your higher power to be, whatever's gonna guide you through this.
Right.
So, but you find something and it makes you go like, there's something bigger somewhere, you know?
Something bigger than me. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You kind of feel it. That's why I was asking.
Yeah,
is
exactly.
it something you felt along the way, or is it, you know, somebody like
you saw it or was told?
Because I always feel like it's an inclination, right? Like especially when you're going through those existential crises where you're like, oh my God, is this it?
The tunnel. I
you know
call
what I
it
mean?
the
Like,
tunnel. You're in the tunnel.
Yeah,
you
know,
don't
we
see
grew up
the
in the
light.
streets, and we did, you know, we've been through all kinds of stuff. So it's like sometimes you're wondering, like, dude, are we gonna make it out of this? Is this, you know what I mean? So it's like, and then you gotta like, at those points, I've always remembered, like, I've always thought back and said, it's gotta be God. We made it out, and we're safe, and we're here, and we can live to tell about it. You know what I mean?
You get a feeling in you, and that's why, like, because I was raised with no beliefs at all, I think like it's always made me believe like that you know, we're here, that's it, you know.
It's beautiful.
But now it's like moving forward, you know. The only other time, not the only, but the other time that was so influential for me was when I was actually diagnosed with diabetes when I was just about to be 16. When it wasn't long after I got out of homelessness that I was diagnosed with diabetes. And if you know anything about diabetes, you're supposed to, like, you can go into a coma if your blood sugars get up to like 800.
Yeah. Both my parents, I know exactly. Yeah, I know a lot about it.
And I walked right into that hospital because I didn't feel good. I just didn't feel right for the last week. And then that night, something was telling me, just go in. Something told me that night.
So this is before you were even diagnosed with diabetes. So you didn't even know.
I didn't know at all.
You just felt bad. You walked in.
I felt weird, and my mom was like, "You want to sleep it off?" And I was like, "I don't know. Something doesn't feel right. Like I don't feel good. Something's telling me." She's like, "What's telling you?" And I was like, "I don't know. Something's telling me to go to the hospital and get this checked out." And so she was like, "Okay." And like I eventually like had a doctor like come into my room, and because they admitted me because they were like, "Something's wrong. Like we're putting you in a room." And I was like, "Okay." And they're like, "Hang on." They drew blood, and then he came in the room, and he's like, "Sit down and stay seated." And I was like, "Okay." And he was like, "Your blood sugars are 1,009. We don't know how you're alive right now, and you're talking to us."
Yeah. We don't even understand that part yet.
And I was like, "What does that mean?" So but they got me out of that, and the fact that I was able to walk myself into there was crazy to me after I learned what diabetes is and what the numbers mean. He's like, we've never had anybody in this hospital above 850 that's conscious and alive.
That's crazy. Over 1,000 is crazy.
They're telling you, like, this is not even...
Yeah.
Well, this is what I'm saying. Like, you've got a very powerful testimony. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I was saying.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, not to say anything, but
that's
like
what
the fact that you even believe in a higher being, a higher power, it's incredible. You know, it's that in itself is like a miracle, right? Because it's like, right, when you grow up and your parents are like, no, neither parent believes in, you know what I mean? It's crazy, at least if you have one parent, but it's crazy when you have both parents that don't believe in, system. Right? No support and then system. She still found it within herself.
Strong.
Yeah. And then, it's almost like your testimony is very, like, I don't know. I think it needs to be heard. You know what I mean? Especially for young girls that have gone through what you've gone through. I don't know when you say the 12-step program, was it because of alcoholism? Were you drinking alcohol? Or was it drugs?
It was drugs. I was pretty addicted to drugs. You know, when I first moved here, I just got caught up with the wrong people, and I told them like, no, I don't want to try anything. All I do is drink. That's it. And so
one thing led to the next.
They all just were like
the peer pressure.
chanting at me, just do it.
It's Florida life, man. Florida life.
Yeah,
it'll do it
exactly.
To you. Yeah.
And the way that I take it though is, a lot of people could not believe in anything because of being through so many things. Right. But like we need to take, like, I take the experience I have and I'm like, okay, well, obviously everything's a lesson, and you hear that all the time, that like everything we go through is a lesson. It's always teaching us something. But
it's true though.
My main thing is like, if I take that and use all those bad experiences as a reason to be hateful for life in general. Like, how far am I going to get anywhere?
No.
So you got to take it and be like, okay, I made it out of that. I made it alive, and now I'm okay. So,
that's awesome.
You know, and it taught me more things. So, like,
absolutely,
you can be thankful instead of hateful.
Absolutely.
When you
Take notes, man. This is these are
this
gems right here.
Talk.
This is fuego talk. She's dropping jewels right here. See, that's very, very important because, like you said, you could have easily gone the hater route.
Yes.
Been like, oh,
blame the world.
Mad at life.
Yeah, blame the world. Like
blame
everyone.
your parents, right? Blame right? Blame the system. Blame whatever, right?
And I have those moments. I'm not perfect.
No, I mean, I think we all do, right?
Yeah,
but the fact is, when we
at the end of the day, you got to take it,
turn it around,
way.
and you keep it going.
I wanted to ask you. So, no, because this is important information.
Yes.
At what point or where were you that you said to yourself, "I want to stop using"? You know, where were you? What you understand? Because we have all of that. We have them points in life that you get that awakening. So exactly, how did you stop? Why did you stop? Explain that to the people at home that might have a similar situation, because you might be, you know what I'm saying, the beacon of light for someone. Yeah.
I mean, there were many times in my addiction where I was like, I have a problem, you know, like something's wrong. Like I don't think I could actually stop if I wanted to. And I had friends and, you know, people in my life that, like, I had an ex-boyfriend of mine was like, you know, we had just started seeing each other, and I was like, he found out I was doing that, and he's like, look, I don't think I can see you if you continue doing that. And he's like, and regardless, like, I care about you, so you need to do something about that. And that was the first time I, like, really affected somebody by doing it, because I let it be known. And I ended up lying multiple times, saying I wasn't doing that, I'm clean, like I can do it myself, it's fine, I don't have a problem. And I ended up lying over and over and over. And he just looked at me one day and was like, I just don't want you to die. Ooh. And I was like,
it hit?
Yeah. And I was like, and then like I started realizing, I still didn't stop at that point, but I was like,
it's
you know,
making sense.
I was like, because he told me, he's like, you cry like every day. You're sad all the time. You think people don't see you, but like you don't look like yourself anymore. Ooh. And I was like, that's fair. Like,
that's
and
tough.
I knew
that's
he was
message,
right.
Yeah, the message, guided message.
You knew it hit home because you knew he was telling you the truth.
I was the saddest I've ever been in my entire life.
Right.
That was right at the end of my addiction when I knew I had a problem and I accepted that. And the parties were over and the craziness was over when I started just doing it by myself.
Wow.
And
that's
knowing it was a
problem. No, that's what I mean. That's okay, right there. That's like I said. When you're using drugs with friends, it's kind of cool. Like when you drink with friends, but like I said,
if it's social, right? If it's a social thing, it's different than
listen,
you're in the room by yourself,
what I'm saying
right?
Is, when you do it by yourself, that's when it's bad.
Yeah, that's when it gets.
That's it, because you can't drink by yourself.
There's no excuse.
That's what's bad.
To do it.
Yeah,
like the
bad.
parties and stuff, you know, that I started out at and stuff. It was like that was my excuse to do that, and that was why I was doing it.
Right.
But then when I'm doing it alone in my bedroom, like, in my house, it's like, doing? what's the why? Where is it? Why am I doing this?
Course,
just because? And, you know, I stopped for like a month or so when my mom got sick and she ended up passing away. And I just used that to, then I started using it just to feel happy after that. And I used it to process grief. And that was the worst mistake I made. But also, like, that's what ended up driving me to get sober. Is I was like, you know, because I used it
as your fuel.
Anytime I even so much as came down, like, and I started sobering up from it, I felt so heavy, sad, like my just a hole in my chest, like sad, like that kind of heavy, and like that's when I realized, like, I think I have a problem, because like this is the only thing that makes me feel good anymore.
Right. What was it, like pills and stuff, or like coke?
No, it was coke.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I had like
so many people. It's like
doing it all day, every day.
Yeah, it's like it's got such a grip on like so many people.
Especially young people here.
Especially young people.
I've realized like so many 20-year-olds do that
outside,
here.
Yeah, it's very sad.
It's so easy to do that too. Absolutely. It was crazy when I started finding out like how many people do that. I was like, whoa.
No, it was when I came from New York. It's funny. That's how I came here. Boom, 17. So it's like we go into the bathroom and everybody had that in the bathroom.
Everyone.
But it's crazy. I've never experienced with that drug myself. I'm a heavy cannabis smoker.
Yeah.
But that was there. It's, it's there. You know what I mean? And I'm like, wow, and it's still there. Yeah. It hasn't gone nowhere.
I've always said it.
Still right
I've
there.
always said it. South Florida, like
it's
where
heavy.
we grew up, it's just drug culture.
Yeah, like
it's
McDonald's. It's down
Since
the block.
80s, 90s, it's always
down the
been
block.
that way.
It's
almost like a normal thing. You get a job, and then everybody at your job is like, hey,
the plug knows the plug.
Yeah. And then, like you said, it'll just become
an
everyday thing. You know what I mean?
No, my friends party with that. So
yeah, and people go years and years before even realizing. Like I said, you're blessed that you're young and you caught it so young. Yes, because you're still beautiful. You're still young. You still have your whole life ahead of you.
Like nothing happened, really. Nothing happened. Like
it's like nothing, dude.
Yeah,
like you don't have anything. You're not tainted at all. Unfortunately, I know a lot of people that have destroyed their lives because of that.
Absolutely, and I have a lot of friends that are sober and they.
I was gonna say your breathing is okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank God. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have a lot of friends that before I even started an addiction or had one, I knew friends that were in AA and doing all of that, and I just knew them from being here, and a lot of them live here, and like I always tell, the one thing I always tell people is, it doesn't matter what's telling you not to. If you have any urge to tell any person, I don't care if it's your ex you haven't spoken to in 25 years or if it's your best friend, if you have any urge to tell any person for any reason that you think you have a problem with something, do it. I don't care why. I don't care if you haven't spoken to that person in forever.
Speak out.
You need to, because as soon as you admit that, you also start to realize in yourself that you're gonna,
you become vulnerable.
Exactly.
I know.
You open it up. And
I'm a psychologist.
Yeah,
I'm become very vulnerable. That's why you need to speak up. That's why it's good sometimes, like we tell people, sometimes you don't need to speak. All you need to do is just listen. Because that's what people want to do, is just find someone to just talk to someone.
They need that ear.
Trust me.
They need to vent.
That's who I am. Remember, I'm a psychology.
Asking what to do. They're just telling you
absolutely.
What they're struggling with, And so I always tell people, like, there's so much hesitation when you feel like you want to tell someone, like, hey, I have a problem with this, because you run through like, oh, they're going to tell me to stop, they're going to tell me I have to stop, they're going to get mad at me.
I have an opinion.
Exactly. They're going to get mad at me, they're going to get upset, like they're going to be sad, I don't want to make them sad, but it's like, that emotion that comes with that can be dealt with. You dying cannot.
There's no comeback from that. Yeah.
And
pay attention, y'all. This is we speaking real serious talk today on Fuego Talk.
No, serious.
I'm bringing it.
Hannah Joyce breaking it down.
Real here, I guess.
It's serious
because it's just real. She's bringing the real talk, bro. This is what the kids need to hear. You know what I mean? You're still young, right? What are you, 20?
I'm turning 23 in like 9 days.
God, you're a kid.
She's
brand new.
She's the baby.
She's just a baby. But that's why I'm saying your testimony is so powerful.
Thank you.
Because I believe that the young kids need to hear this.
That's what I like to do. Any struggle I've been through, that's why I would never take them back either. You can always help someone with something you've been through. Doesn't matter how minuscule it is. Someone else is out there wondering, how do I get through this?
The feelings that you feel are correct. The feelings that you feel, like what I did, watch this, what's crazy? What I always would do is what I tell people, since I'm different, I always would go to my guidance counselor, because they're even when I went to college, and I'll just sit and rap with her, or I'll tell her, like, I just lay back in her couch and I just watch her work. But you just connect.
She was your therapist on the low.
With someone different, with someone you understand, and that's what their job is for.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I always got
utilizing. They're not utilizing it. They don't think sometimes people there. You need to go to, an outside source.
Yeah.
And out that does not have
something
get that outside perspective,
and then you can start maybe throwing it around in the circle, because exactly what you said. True. What are your friends going to tell you right away? Pram, like they.
Everybody's got an opinion. Yeah. You already know.
Oh my God! I was just like, I needed help, guy.
Yeah.
But you're right. It's like sometimes you just want somebody just to listen. You don't even need anybody to like tell you anything. It's just listen, dude. Look, this is what I'm going through.
This is what I'm going through.
You know what I mean? That's very powerful, man. So, Hannah, so where are we going with this career of yours? What do you think? What is your like?
Yourself?
What is your 5 years?
Is Georgia on the list right now? if they call you for work, you ready to transition over to Georgia, to a different state? You ready for that?
Well, I think she's just doing like odd jobs, right? I don't think you're gonna be like, it's good like a gig basis, right?
For now, it is. If I were offered a recurring part or something, like obviously it would be weighed out. I'd have my like pros and cons, blah blah blah, but I would transition for a part like that because I know that I'm trying to move more towards, like, focus more on acting now because I just find so much joy in that.
Right.
And I find so much joy in modeling. I do that, I still am obviously doing modeling all the time. And I'd love to be in more magazines or anything like that. But, if I were called for a recurring part and, it was worth it to move, 100%.
So that's what I like to do. I like to set a price. Here we go. We raise the bar. So to get you out to Georgia, might as well just let it in the air. What it's got to be? 75,000, 100,000, 150.
Oh God.
This is
well, let's not even do that because then she might be shooting herself in the foot.
You got to throw something.
You
can start higher. I'm just saying you got to throw something.
She might be lowballing herself.
$250,000, to get me out there. 100,000 or a whole
we got to start at least.
I don't know how you
for this face. At least $250,000. Come on,
thank you.
I don't know. Look, a whole season.
Get
a whole season's
here.
even way more money.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Like you see that.
I'm talking per episode, dude.
To move my whole self, to move my life, it would have to be at least an entire season, a part on a season.
That's what would make sense.
I would have to be in a whole season because that would make sense.
How many episodes in the season? 8, 16? Because we all watch TV. 20?
Depends on what show it is.
Okay.
And it also depends on like
the part,
how big my part is.
Okay.
So it really depends because if it's a really long season, but it's a kind of like a what are they
segments?
Well,
sequences.
It's the part is like not the main like not a main actor in it, but
like
supporting.
Yeah.
If it was a supporting but a little bit longer or something like that, then so it would really fluctuate based on what the part is.
Something that'll grow your career.
Nice. Something that will grow me and get me like really out there, that I would move for.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially if it's recurring, because then I know that I'm not moving out there to now go struggle to find another job or something. Right. I don't want to have to, if I'm moving my life, I need to know I have something somewhat guaranteed.
Stability, some
stability to get my foot on the ground to run. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that way you can, get your roots, in the ground, and you can build from there.
Yeah, and then from there you can start to find out other places and areas, and Atlanta is not short of modeling or acting jobs, but still something to start me off there, something that I know would be worth it to move for.
Build the foundation.
So let me ask you a question. I'm curious to know, because now that you're with the agency, would you still be able to do like your own gigs, like on the side, like for example, like a short film or something like that? Would you be able to like act in it?
Yeah.
Would you be interested in doing things like that? Or?
Yes, absolutely, 100%. I'm so open to music videos, short films, stuff like that.
Does that have to go through the agency, or can you like book your own gigs?
The reason, so when I did that modeling competition, I got callbacks from like 4 or 5 different agencies.
That's good.
I had to choose from all of them, basically, because they were like, we want to sign you, and you have to choose which one.
Right.
And the agency I'm with is called Mannequin Talent Agency. They are a non-exclusive contracted agency, meaning that I'm still allowed to get my own freelance work.
Oh,
nice.
And to go and find a photographer. If the photographer hits me up and is like, hey, I want to pay you hourly to shoot with me, I'm still able to do that. They don't even have to talk to the agency.
So you have the liberty to go out and get your own gigs and make your own money.
Big part, like if it was something big, I would have them go through the agency, because I need a contract, and I need someone else to keep on top of you as well in your side of the contract.
Right,
but
and the agency serves as a buffer, buffer for you, and and I'm sure they provide the legal representation as well, so they cover everything for you. So that's,
if anything were to go wrong, they have all the legal side of it. I would be working with them on that and stuff. So I have that, backing me. So if it was but any smaller jobs or anything that you know, like little businesses, if they want me to do a photo shoot with T-shirts or something for their website, stuff like that, I can do on my own.
Right.
I have my own personal contracts I use too. So I wrote up my own contracts that I use just as a safe,
Smart
like
girl.
just in case, you
Smart
know.
girl. Yeah, that's
So
awesome.
you can't back out, and so you have something saying I can't back out,
Right.
so you feel better too.
Absolutely.
You know,
It
so
works both ways. That's the contracts. You
That's
know,
the
Exactly.
bridge.
Yeah.
That's what
contracts
it
are so
All parties.
important. How many
Absolutely.
times I've been promised money, done the job, and then when I started out, I don't even care if it looks or sounds stupid. Write something, some kind of contract. If you're a brand new model,
Absolutely.
write a contract.
Yeah.
Like, because I've had people pull out last second when I traveled far for it, or I've had people, you know, we didn't agree on that much, and I'm like, yes, we did, and unfortunately, we talked on the phone, so I couldn't prove it.
Right.
You know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
In a contract, you shows how
It's
much I'm
plain
going to get
English,
paid
yes.
That's
for
it.
what, and you said
It's all
yes.
in black and white right there.
Exactly.
Numbers don't lie. Yeah.
And then
I
if something
always-
goes wrong
yeah.
during the shoot, you also have a contract saying like, you know, this is what we were doing, or
Right.
something like that.
I always advise like all my studio clients, all my clients to do the same thing. You know, everything should be contract. Even if you're not getting paid for the gig, put it in the contract. This is a complimentary gig, and we still want whatever it is, a bottle of water, whatever comes. You know, this many people are coming with us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Clarify whatever you're getting. You know what I mean? Because that's how you cover. You know, everybody, all parties involved. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I have a contract now for, you know, paid jobs or unpaid jobs. Or if I'm paying someone for a job and they don't have a contract, I have my own version of that too. So like, but even the unpaid jobs, like complimentary
Right.
shoots or something, if I'm
Exactly.
collaborating with
Exactly.
someone or doing how
Exactly.
they call trade for photos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
TFPs,
TFP,
like,
exactly.
and stuff like that. I have the contract saying as well
Perfect.
that I'm allowed to use those photographers' photos for my my agency's website. I'm able to use them for my portfolio. I'm able to use those photos for like my own personal use, as long as everybody is given credit. And like that way,
Nice, yeah.
they can't come for me and say, "Oh, you weren't allowed to post that. Those are my pictures." Because I've had
Right.
that happen to me as well.
Of course.
And I've had a photographer run out with my pictures because I do boudoir shoots and such like that. So I do, you know, some risque photo shoots, and I've had a photographer just be a creep during the shoot. He was absolutely inappropriate. And I said, and I trusted, we had been, you know, coming up with this idea.
Concept.
Yeah, this concept of like creating a website with boudoir shoots and stuff like that. There was like a whole
What's boudoir
Man
shoots?
to
Like,
it.
how,
lingerie.
like okay,
Like lingerie-esque.
Right.
It's that kind of,
Right.
you know, photo shoot.
like
So
burlesque type style, or is that
it can be. There's a lot of different ranges of what you can do with boudoir.
just
Basically,
so the audience
it means
understands what
like
we're talking
an
about?
intimate
Right. Yeah.
setting.
I get
That's
you.
what boudoir kind of is. You can be
Nice.
wearing lingerie. You can have like implied nudity where you can't see anything,
Right.
but it looks like you're like nude and you're covering something up. Or
Right.
there's a lot of levels
Like
to
the sexy
Yeah.
stuff. This is like the
Mhm.
sexy stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
So I do those, and I had a photographer, you know, start being very inappropriate during the shoot, and you know, I was like, you know, look, I think this needs to be done. I think you need to go home. Like
Right.
you're in my house. He was in my house too,
Oh,
so I was
that's
like, you
kinda
know,
crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
goodbye, bye bye.
I
And
can imagine that must be like a common situation for like models.
I've
and
had to
things like
kick
that, right?
many
Creeps.
photographers out of
That's
shoots.
the
Yeah.
key
They
word.
become photographers
Creeps.
just to be a creep,
Yeah,
or
correct.
because they get closer, one step closer. So
Right.
you know, I always tell people too, don't ever do a boudoir shoot if the photographer is not a boudoir photographer,
Right.
and you've never worked with them before.
Right.
If
Yeah,
he
because it's a
does
certain
only
look to it, too.
boudoir,
Yeah, don't set yourself
Yeah.
up. Don't set yourself up. Don't
Exactly.
go down that road.
Yeah.
try to be. You got to be safe, because unfortunately, like, you know, we have to worry about that. You just
Right.
do, and that's, you know, I wish we didn't, but that's just how it is. And I learned my lesson. I mean, this guy was talking to him, you know, planning this whole business idea with him for a while, and then he became creepy like that. I guess he just thought it would fly, and then I eventually was like, you know, you need to go. I told you no a bunch of times, and now I'm just
Realize it's
weirded
just
out.
A waste of
Yeah,
time.
in the
Yeah,
house.
and I was like, goodbye. And he ran off with my photos, blocked me on everything, and I ended up running into him in a coffee shop.
Wow, this is
Later,
good. Damn.
later, like 2 years later,
Wow.
or 2 years later.
Did you confront him?
Yeah, I said, where are my pictures? And he was like, I have them. I can give them to you. And he was like, I was like, okay, give me my pictures then, because you ran off with them. He goes, I didn't run off with them. I moved out of the country. I was like, you blocked me and you ran off with them because you didn't get what you wanted. So I need what I want, which is my photos. And so he said, fine, like, give me your information. So I said, here, just I'll unblock you on social media, or you unblock me on social media. And I'll unblock you because I blocked him back. Of course, I'm petty sometimes. So even if he can't see it, he was blocked back. But
you did it first. I go next.
Yeah, exactly. So so he ended up messaging me. I was like, I'll only give you your photos if you go and have a beer with me. And I was like, no, don't you see how inappropriate that is?
Dude,
absolutely not.
Buddy was still pushing.
Hey,
yeah.
He pushed his
like,
shot. Do you hear this, guys?
It was
giving us
terrible.
a bad
Insane.
name.
Yeah, for real. Hey,
see what I'm saying?
Lame old game. This is terrible, man. Don't ever do that, man. Don't think you're gonna be a photographer and you're gonna be getting
literally.
easy. Come on, man.
Literally,
Audacity,
but like,
right?
you know, and it was like, you know, I ended up just giving up on the pictures because I was like, yeah, no.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
going
Come
down
on,
the
keep it
not
wrong
worth
road.
my
If it's
time.
asking you for a drink, you know, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
No, at that point, you
Yeah.
just gotta be like, bro, keep the pictures.
You're
bro.
the one doing that. If you
You
go,
loser.
That's what I said. I said, fine, if I have to go out with you to get them, they're not worth it. Goodbye. And
For
then I
real.
blocked them.
That's the highlight of his career is the shoot he did with you.
Wow.
Dumbass.
Yeah.
Terrible,
That's
man.
crazy.
You want to put him on blast? Do we?
No, I'm
do we
not
put
going
him on
to do that. I'm not going to put him on blast. I can't. I
You're
wanna,
lucky she's got a nice, good heart,
I
dude.
also want to avoid any issues.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
like
that's
that
good.
I've
No,
made
no.
I've tried to make some peace
Yeah.
with it. So
Yeah, well, it's
You
better.
moved
It's
on.
better. It's better. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
graduated.
Ain't no hate in our heart, man. We got to.
Oh, probably
move
some
forward.
people, now that I look at it, like,
What?
probably some people hold on to that, like, watch what took place as maybe, like, you know, if God for some reason blesses you and then your career takes off, that's what people do, hold on to these type of pictures.
Yeah.
You see what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like, and then you
Mhm.
got to pay
Yeah.
the fine that he wants, or else he's going to release him to the public.
yeah.
See, this is the play. It's a play. You get me? It's a strategy. And he's probably done that to a bunch of people.
And he probably has those pictures up somewhere in some other domain because
Oh, that you can't see.
websites
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So he has past websites from when he did, like, you know, work in other countries for models and boudoir and stuff like that. So I know my pictures are somewhere. I know he put them somewhere and he's making money or something off of them somewhere. He's using them somehow. There's some reason he kept them from me, you know, and that's fine.
He's just
'Cause-
trying to get something out of him.
Yeah.
Some way, somehow.
Yeah. I mean, if that's how you got to do things,
That's
We
what
don't
they
wanna
all
deal
do.
with
The
you. We don't
photo-
wanna
it's
have
a
nothing to do with
that's,
you.
That's what
Yeah.
they, like, some of them, that's what I see, the
You're not
nature
a
of
real
the game.
photographer.
Yeah, the nature of the game. Think about
Yeah.
it. Like, boom, I got this in the safe.
Yeah.
exactly. And it's like, you know,
It's
good.
the
I hope you release him. Goodbye.
Put them on already.
Not, you know, I know I look good in them, so that's all that
That's
matters.
all that matters. At the end of the day, that's what matters. Yeah. So yeah, so we
Still
got-
looks good in the pictures. Pow.
absolutely, bro. Haters make us greater. At the end of the day, remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Haters make us greater.
And that taught me a lesson too.
Yeah.
Don't ever let a photographer into your house. That's another one.
You
Unless
learn.
you
That's
trust
what I mean.
him.
You learn, like, yeah, unless you build a rapport with him and then he's a
Mhm.
friend, the homie, he's cool, you know, like, you know, he's not a creep, you know, like, you know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? He's not, oh my God. Like, I could imagine.
Yeah, but the photographer
Yeah.
should provide the space and, like, you know what I mean? Like,
You know,
what
yeah.
is that?
Depending on what the shoot, you know, is. I've had photographers where, like, they want to do it at their own studio or their own place, and that could be dangerous too. You're going to someone else's space, you know, and you just build a rapport. Don't go somewhere completely secluded and private, and don't do boudoir or any lingerie if you have never shot with them before.
This is
like
good
Don't
advice right here.
recommend.
Take
it's
notes.
just
girls.
it could be so dangerous. It really can be, because like, thankfully, I'm thankful that he was just creepy and not dangerous,
Right.
because he could have been dangerous. He
Absolutely.
was in my house. I was vulnerable, you know, so like, he could have been dangerous. So I always tell people, you know, that taught me a lesson. You gotta, and now I know so many great photographers. I have friendships with a lot of photographers in South Florida.
Dope.
I've become very familiar with the community here, and you know, it's, you know, there are so many good photographers out there.
Well, you do
Do
good
not-
business, your network grows. Right?
Yeah.
Don't be uncomfortable because you feel like there's no other photographer that can reach that level. or because you like their pictures, or because you can't find another photographer to shoot with right now. There's plenty. Right. You know, you don't need to be uncomfortable or deal with someone's crap. You really don't.
Dope.
Wise words right here from this lovely young lady, Hannah Joyce.
Don't take no crap from no photographers.
Yeah. So, Hannah, we usually have like a segment where we say anything you want to get off your chest. Is there anything you want to get off your chest real quick before we wrap up?
Anything you want to say to the community?
It's Fuego Talk, so it's literally anything you want to get off your chest.
Whatever you want, good or
we
bad.
already shitted on all the crappy photographers.
So if you want to say something good, want to say something bad, whatever, however you want to leave the show. Yeah. That's how we always end it. Get it off your chest.
Let's see.
It's like church on Sundays, but it's only Thursday.
Well, while you're thinking about it, what's your where can they follow you?
While are you thinking about it? Yeah. We're gonna multitask. Yeah, because
I'll keep her flowing. You know, she'll get it.
So on
she's a pro, kid.
I know she's a pro.
On social medias, my Instagram is I am Hannah Joyce. So I am Hannah Joyce, and then the Hannah has 2 H's. It's 2 H's.
HANNAH JOYCE.
Yes, correct. And then all of my other social media platforms can be found in my bio there. Awesome. They should all be the same, but I think my Twitter's like Hannah Joyce 1 or something, but they're all in my bio of my my Instagram.
You got a link
I had a link tree actually, but I have my own website called HannahJoyceModel.com too. So all my stuff is on there.
There you go.
My portfolio and all of it.
Ownership.
She's got her
ownership.
Ownership. She's got her own.
Look at her ownership.
I love it. I love to see
we get it popping.
I love to see the young
I'm only
ladies
19.
doing their thing.
I'm only 19, and my kids are in other states, but you get it. No, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
All right, so
thank you for coming here, man. Thank you. We appreciate you 100%.
Just closing statement.
Just if someone tells you you can't do it, you know, and it's something you really want to do, just always remember, how the fuck would they know? Like, how the hell would they know?
Facts.
How would anybody know what you're capable of? You're capable of what you make yourself capable of.
What you want to do.
Real talk.
Facts.
100% capable of whatever you build.
And don't let anybody project their limitations onto you.
Exactly.
Facts.
A lot of people do that. Yeah. You are 100% capable of whatever you want to do, even if it takes... Like singing took me 10, 12 years of teaching to get the level I'm at now. Right. And I was almost tone deaf when I started. So, you know, and people told me, like, you'd never be a singer, you know? So it's like you are capable of what you're willing to put in the work for and what you're willing to not let anybody take you away from. If you want to do it, and put the work into it. That's it.
If you want to do it, and put the work into it. There you go.
There you go.
Name of your new album.
That came out real good.
Your new album. There you go.
Beautiful. You already know what it is, man. The one and only you, be the underboss. My partner, Hurricane Joe Easy, Fuego Talk, and Hannah Joyce. You already know, guys. Shouts to Big Bro Danny Boy backing me up as usual. Mark the Shooter, the homies. Closing it down.
So I guess we can't say his name. You don't want to be on camera.
Yes, you already know. Make sure you guys follow Hannah Joyce, y'all. Fuego Talk.
Thank you so much.
We out.